Welcome to our Newborn Hearing Home Birth Training Series, Hearing Screening Module Number 1. My name is Dale Nakamis, and I'm the Newborn Hearing Data Manager supporting our Newborn Hearing program. We've designed this video for those professionals who are responsible for submitting hearing screening data to Colorado per the recommended newborn hearing screening guidelines. Before we begin this brief second video in the series, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to view our training video. So moving over to our portal, I'm going to begin by clicking in the username, and my username that's been assigned by the team, MMID wife, and then the password that I as the user have assigned. And then click on login. Now that you're logged into the newborn hearing system, you begin on what we call the home page, or simply the home tab. Get started in your task then of recording initial and/or follow-up hearing screening data. All you need to do is click on data entry, which is either found on the menu on the top bar or else within the option menu down below on the left. So what we plan to cover today in our training is the recording of an initial and a follow-up hearing screening for a baby born January 1st, 2015. Now, if you take a look at the client search window, you'll have the familiar date of birth, last name, first name fields, and you also have the ID number, which is the very first one. The ID number is going to be our internal tracking 6-digit value that we use here within the database. Now, when searching for the baby, we recommend that you key as little as possible in the last name and first name fields, thinking that once you do the search, you will get your return rows and you can look further to get the actual one that is correct. Looking at our birth certificate document then, our test baby is Alan Trainer, born on January 1st, 2015. So for demo today, I'm going to key his date of birth and then the first 5 characters of his last name, and click on search. Now in our example, we can see that there were multiple babies from the database that matched January 1st, 2015 and TRAIN. And just by inspection, we can see in the matrix that we've got this third row, Alan Trainer, born January 1, 2015. I'm going to select him, which is number 772, and I've defaulted to my initial screening entry window. Now before we begin the entry for this baby, I'll say that if you're sure you're keying the correct information from the birth certificate and you click search and you come back with no results found, just recheck your entry one more time, key it again, and click search. And if you still find that there's no hit on that baby's information, tune into our next training video, Hearing Screening Module Number 2, and I will go into the details of how to add that baby's record into the database so that you can finish the initial screening information. So now that we're into initial screening for this baby, you'll notice there aren't that many fields to actually fill in, and most of them have been defaulted from our vital statistics system, the electronic birth certificate, what we call the COVIS system. The reason not has been identified for this baby as scheduled, and since we are actually keying initial screening information results, I'm going to click first in the reason not and remove that scheduled by going to the very top of the menu and clicking on the blank. Next down, I'm going to click into date of initial screen, and this is very important. Typically, it's going to be approximately the date that we get the information from COVIS into the newborn hearing screening system, which in this case was January 15th for a January 1st birth date. So I'm going to click into that and type over the top of it to show the exact information from the screening results. So in our case, it was the 25th that we received, or that we actually performed the screening for that baby. Location is fine. Home birth is coming from COVIS. If perchance it was something else, blank, for example, then you just click on this down arrow, but typically it will be the location of home birth for you. For result left and right, we've chosen a unilateral fail for this baby. So I'm going to identify refer failed on left, and then I'm going to do a passed on the right. The last thing that we ask that you do in this initial screening window is identify notes. By that we mean type in screened by, hyphen, and then the name of the practitioner. So we'll have it for our record keeping and queries. Since we're demoing initial and follow-up screen entry in this module for today, I'm going to go ahead and click on follow-up screen at this time. If I was only keying an initial screen result, I could click on update right here in the lower right hand corner, and it would file that information away. It would give me one more window for OK, and then I would clear and go to the next client. But let's continue in this demo for follow-up screening by clicking follow-up screen. Once within the follow-up screen window, you'll see that these choices are very, very similar to initial screening. I'm going to click in the date of follow-up first to identify a February 15th date as the actual performed date for this follow-up screening. Reason not will always be blank in this follow-up screen entry, because you'd only go in here when you're identifying the follow-up screening data. You're not returning back to it at a later point to do the entry, for example. So I always leave reason not blank. Location is a little bit confusing in that you're a home birth location and there isn't a choice here. There's only audiologist as well as hospital, but at this point, if you've screened the baby through home birth, leave hospital selected as it is, defaulted for you, and click over in the drop down for location and choose home birth. And that will override and make sure that we see it's a home birth follow-up screening. As you'd guess, then result left and right would be very similar to the initial. In this case, the baby did pass left and right, so I note that here. And again, the notes screened by. And then I just click on update to finish. If perchance there was a follow-up screening performed on this baby that was done by an audiologist, I would just go ahead and click on audiologist. And then I'd click on the particular name of the person, which is running a little bit slow here, but then I'd choose the name of a person, and I think I have a test person over here of, let's see, April audiologist. So I would choose this in the case of an audiologist performing the follow-up screening. And then again, if I was all done with this entry, I just go ahead and click update. click OK, and then I'm ready for my next report. All I do is I click Clear, and I begin my search again. When I'm finished with all my reports for this session, all I need to do is just go to the top right hand area and mouse over my name, and then come straight down and over to log out. Thank you for viewing our Newborn Hearing Home Birth Training Series, Hearing Screening Module Number 1. Our next video recording in the series, Hearing Screening Module Number 2, will go into the details of how to record results for babies that are not found within the Newborn Hearing Database.